Crime stories continue to pop up around the country as law enforcement continue their work to protect our communities. So let's take a look at some of this week's top crime stories in your One American News Weekly Countdown, Crime Edition. We start our countdown off with a trip to California when a legal immigrant was extradited to Florida for allegedly causing a fatal car wreck. Florida Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins flew to the Golden State to send 28-year-old Harjinder Singh back to the Sunshine State. Singh is accused of making an illegal U-turn on the Florida Turnpike, resulting in the deaths of 3 people after his trailer collided with a minivan. Collins raised questions about why Singh was allowed to drive a truck and laid the blame for the deaths at the feet of Governor Gavin Newsom.
When this tragic accident happened and 3 Floridian lives were lost, he fled back to California, where in 2018 he illegally crossed the border, came here, and ended up getting a commercial driver's license, a CDL. When he was pulled off the side of the road, he answered 3 out of 16 questions properly. Why was he driving in the first place? 3 lives lost because of Gavin Newsom, because of California's failed policies. We're done with that.
Singh faces vehicular homicide charges and deportation. Our next entry takes us to Georgia, where officials give more details about the shooter who targeted the CDC headquarters in Atlanta. A letter sent to CDC employees revealed the primary suspect, 30-year-old Patrick White, may have tried to get onto the campus 2 days before the attack. Investigators also chimed in and said surveillance footage does not 100% show the shooter's identity, but they maintain White is the likely culprit. White is accused of firing over 500 shots at the CDC and killing the Cobb County police officer David Rose before committing suicide. Members of the local community gathered together to hold a memorial service for Rose.
Whether serving his country or protecting his community here at home, David's life was about sacrifice, loyalty, and an unshakable belief in service greater than self.
Rose is being remembered for his selflessness and life of service, as he had previously served in the Marine Corps before joining the DeKalb County Police Department. Let's move away from Georgia and turn our attention towards Texas for our third entry. FBI Director Kash Patel announced the arrest of 40-year-old Cindy Rodriguez Singh, who was on their top 10 most wanted fugitives list. Patel said Singh was arrested in India and was extradited to Texas in relation to the 2023 disappearance of her 6-year-old son Noel. She is accused of fleeing the country alongside her husband and 6 juveniles after her extended relatives raised concerns about her son, who was last seen in November of 2022. Patel thanked FBI investigators and their partners in India for helping bring Singh to justice.
To our great work with our partners in the government of India and overseas, we literally captured her for the first time in 2.5 years. She is now in FBI custody and she's on her way to face prosecution in the state of Texas.
Singh faces capital murder charges and felony charges for unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. Noel is still missing and is presumed dead. However, residents in his hometown of Everman voted to keep his memory alive by renaming a local park in his honor. We now turn our eyes to the ongoing debate over the Jeffrey Epstein case for our penultimate entry. The DOJ released transcripts and audio of Ghislaine Maxwell's interview with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. Records show Maxwell denying the existence of the Epstein client list and dismissing any speculation about the deceased financier blackmailing high-profile figures. She also said she never witnessed any criminal activity from either President Trump or former President Bill Clinton. And lending to the theory surrounding Epstein's suicide, Maxwell expressed doubt about him killing himself. She is currently serving time in prison after being convicted on sex trafficking charges. Our final entry takes us back to California, where the Menendez brothers undergo separate parole hearings. Eric and his brother Lyle made a push to be freed from prison after being made eligible for parole earlier this year. Both were denied parole during their hearings, keeping them behind bars until they become eligible again in 3 years. The Menendez brothers were convicted in 1996 for the murders of their parents and were initially sentenced to life without parole before a judge reduced their sentence to 50 years to life. Their case has drawn nationwide attention, with many demanding their release, while others maintain they should remain behind bars. And with that, I'm Jericho Dancel, and that was your One American News Weekly Countdown. See you again next week.